Hey guys, what is up? And welcome back to my channel. Guys, real quick, today I was at the range. One of my buddies brought me his rifle. Something was wrong with the scope. We changed out scopes. What I'm gonna do is I want to show you something that you can do if you encounter this problem. So we are gonna go ahead and torque down the scope rings on the scope. And I want to show you exactly what we need to do with it. Now, this scope, I already mounted it at the range. We zeroed it. So the way I'm gonna do it right now, I guess if you're really specific about details, you might say I'm cutting corners. I'm not cutting corners. I've done this for many years. This works, and I want to share it with you. So if this ever happens to you, go to this video, watch it, imitate it. Trust me, you're going to take a huge load off your shoulders. With that being said, let's get going. What do we need today for our weapon? We need two things. I always use Loctite. So this is the one that I buy. Ace Hardware sells this, so I don't know what part of the country you might be in, but if they don't have this one, just look for something similar. Any Loctite in particular. I like to go with the color blue because it's not the heavy duty one. And we also need this right here. So if you've never seen this, it's a torque wrench for firearms. Now, I really recommend if you are in the gun industry, whether you know how to work on guns or not, buy this, okay? No one's paying me to say it. I'm only telling you because one day you're going to need it. And that day you need it, if you don't have it, it's going to be rough. Anyways, let's get going. I want to show you what we're about to do. All right, guys, real quick before we get going. So this is a Ruger 1022. What we are going to be doing is we're going to be tightening these downs right here to a specific amount of torque. So if you guys are new to this stuff, this is what I highly recommend. Get yourself a vise, okay? Now the vise has the teeth in metal, so they can damage the firearm. So what the camera is showing you is this gray part right here. This is a magnet that sticks into this, and there's rubber right in here. And then just like I have one here, I also have one on the other side. That way, when I put my gun in there and I clamp it down, no damage will be done to the body. So I'm gonna make a correction. As I was talking earlier, and I haven't used it in years. This is what I usually use, and I highly recommend people buy a torque wrench. However, my torque wrench apparently has been damaged. What happened? I do not know. So we're gonna put this one to the side, but I am gonna be saving all of these right here, and more than likely I'm gonna just be throwing away this piece. And I guess I'm gonna go to Bass Pro Shop later on the week, and I'm gonna buy another one of the torque wrenches and stuff. The one that we are going to be using today, and my fault, I should have checked before I started doing the video, is this one. So this is my other torque wrench. And what we are going to do first is we want to find out which one of these comes in here. So I'm just going to guess. This is the one right here, the 1/4 inch. It's just that I was putting it like this and not really feeling it. Didn't realize I made a mistake. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to set it in here, right? Okay, this is the right way. We want to torque it down. Now, you guys see these numbers over here? And you guys see these right here? We don't really want to worry about these numbers. However, what I want to do is I want to bring this line to where it needs to go. I am actually going to go to right here. So what I want to do is this, look. I bring this down to unlock it, and I rotate this. And I'm going to keep coming up. So right about there. Okay, there you go. Once I'm there, I'm gonna put this back up, and that's the lock. And all I'm gonna do is this. In an X pattern, I am gonna put it here, and I'm gonna tighten it. And once it clicks, I know it's where it needs to go. So I'm gonna go like this. There. Now I'm gonna go to the next one. But if I came here, instead of going to this other side, I'm actually gonna go to this other side. So I'm gonna come here. There you go. Okay. Now I'm gonna jump on this side. There. And I'm gonna go to the other side. Okay. Now I'm gonna come on this side. And now you want to be very careful with these, because what you do not want to do is you do not want to end up stripping them. Now, if you do end up stripping these, it's no big deal. You could obviously find these. You can obviously find these in a hardware store. But the problem is that it's a headache, because you could actually more than likely damage the scope ring itself. What you can do is just drill through it, and then you can actually pull it out. And by doing it, you actually break the entire screw. What we're trying to avoid is doing stuff like that. So as I'm doing this right here, I'm being very careful. Once you go ahead and you tighten it down to where it needs to be, you are actually done. The thing about this is, it's a 22. So if you do know about your firearms, obviously you know that the 22 does not really recoil. That is the only reason why I'm not using any Loctite stronger than this one. And I'm not worried about taking off the actual scope rings and then going to the base and doing the same thing before I put the scope rings back on, mount the scope, put the top of the scope rings on, lock it down again, and then crank it down to where it needs to be. Anyways, guys, this is gonna be it for this video, and I really wanted to share this with you, because if you are new to the firearm industry, guess what? Whether you pay a professional or not to do this, at some point or another, you are gonna find yourself doing it yourself, or you're gonna say, why am I paying people to do it for me? Let me learn how to do it myself. And this is actually a really good way to reference how to do it. Keep in mind, guys, prior to the video, I did take out the screws, but I did one, I put Loctite on it, and I put it back in. Same thing, I took out the other one, put Loctite on it, put it back in. Then I came on this side, I took it out, put Loctite, put it back in. And then same thing on here. Took it out, put Loctite on it, put it back in. And I did it also with this other process over here. And then I just went back and I went torquing them down. And I did it as an X. I went like this, here, here, and here. I came here, 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 and here. Okay? Then you don't have to do it the same way as me. You can start it from the front and work your way to the back. You can start it from the outside, or you can start it from the inside. What I want you to understand is do it in an X pattern. You should be fine. Guys, I hope you all have a wonderful time. Enjoy the rest of the day. And make sure you guys keep yourself safe out there.